How to skyberry your mother tongue. Let it be said, Ama was the last Himalayan beekeeper. My name is Samyak Shertok, and my art is poetry. In some ways, I feel like artists in general are sort of born with it. For me, the earliest memory is in village in Kathmandu, Nepal. We're coming back from school, and I was probably 5 or 6 years old. And my brother, he took out a sheet of paper and said, "Do you guys want to hear a poem?" And he read us this 6-line poem. I do not remember any of the poem, but what I remember thinking is, wow. So I think that was the first sort of realization that I could write, or anyone could write. It is a lifetime project. The summer before I left home, she fed me raw honey from her palm every night. In the dark, I learned to hold bees in my throat, one for every ancestor. Let it be said, not a single bee died. In terms of inspiration, in a way I would say life as whole. Rilke says poetry is not emotion, but an experience. I think what he means by that is for poetry to happen, you have to live it. Sort of really moved by something to sit down and try to write something. Over time, poetry not being a goal or ambition, but poetry simply being a way of being, way of life, right? Which means things you feel, things you experience, you write them down, things you see. When you read certain things, certain phrases, lines really stand out to you and speak to you in multiple ways, and I write them down as well. Sometimes going back to the journal and reading the last few pages, sometimes something can come out of it. But sometimes I think just this process of recording life as you experience it, right? I feel like at some point, a kind of spark happens, and I don't want to romanticize it by saying this amazing thing happens at once, but you feel it. Let me release them into the wild sky, Ama, where they belong. No, moonbug, no, she hums, filling the wounds with pollen. Your mouth is our last hive.